Life's greatest lessons often come from the most unexpected places, our own real struggles, mistakes, and triumphs. Think about it. Some of the most profound wisdom you've gained probably didn't come from a textbook, but from those moments where life threw you a curveball. These 6 insights are more than just words. They're powerful truths forged through real-life stories and challenges that many have faced. We're going deep today, sharing stories of people just like you who learned these lessons the hard way. Watch until the end, and if these resonate, drop 100 to show you're part of the 1% who sees things through. Our minds are incredibly powerful. They can be our greatest allies or our worst enemies. And sometimes we don't realize just how much power our thoughts have over our lives until we see it in action. Let me tell you about Thomas. Thomas was someone who always seemed to be struggling, always focusing on the negative. He'd constantly worry about things he couldn't control, doubt his abilities, and get caught in a cycle of self-criticism. It wasn't until Thomas hit a real low point in his life, he lost his job, his relationship fell apart, and he felt completely lost, that he realized something had to change. He realized that his mindset, his constant negativity, was actually contributing to his struggles. This realization was a turning point for Thomas. He started to become more aware of his thoughts, challenging negative ones and replacing them with more positive and empowering beliefs. He started practicing gratitude, focusing on the good in his life and visualizing his success. It wasn't an overnight transformation, but slowly Thomas began to see a difference. His outlook on life shifted, he felt more confident, and he started attracting more positive experiences into his life. You see, our thoughts influence our actions, relationships, and entire outlook on life. When you nurture a positive mindset, you create a strong foundation for success, happiness, and resilience. Mastering your mind is about silencing those doubts, those negative voices that tell you you're not good enough. It's about consciously choosing thoughts that empower you, that uplift you, and that help you see challenges as opportunities for growth. We've all heard the saying, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. While it might sound cliché, there's a profound truth to it. Let me tell you about Mark, someone who embodied this lesson. Mark had a stable job in finance. It wasn't his passion, but it paid the bills, and he thought that's all that mattered. But deep down, Mark had this burning desire to create. He loved woodworking, spending his weekends crafting beautiful pieces of furniture in his garage. For years, Mark ignored this inner voice, telling himself that pursuing his passion was impractical, risky. But the more he tried to suppress it, the unhappier he became. The turning point came when Mark was laid off from his job. It was a difficult time, but it also forced him to reevaluate his priorities. Instead of immediately searching for another job in finance, Mark decided to take a leap of faith. He invested his severance pay into setting up a small woodworking shop and started taking on custom orders. Was it scary? Absolutely. Were there moments of doubt? Of course. But Mark discovered something incredible along the way, a level of fulfillment he had never experienced before. Mark's story shows that passion has a powerful way of giving life meaning and joy. Pursuing what you love brings purpose, even in difficult times. Fulfillment comes not just from stability, but from doing work that excites you and brings out your creativity. When you find something you truly love, every day becomes an opportunity, not an obligation. Life is constantly changing. It's a beautiful tapestry of moments, some joyous, some challenging, but all fleeting. And it's in understanding the impermanent nature of life that we can truly begin to appreciate the preciousness of each moment. Emily was someone who learned this lesson in a profound way. She had built a seemingly perfect life, a successful career, a loving family, a beautiful home. But then, life threw her a curveball. Emily was diagnosed with a serious illness, one that made her confront her own mortality. During this difficult time, Emily's perspective began to shift. She realized that all the things she had strived for, the material possessions, the accolades, they no longer held the same importance. What truly mattered were the connections she had, the love she shared with her family and friends, the simple joys of everyday life. She started to see the world with new eyes, appreciating the beauty in the ordinary, the laughter of her children, the warmth of the sun on her skin. Emily's story reminds us of the transient nature of life. Every experience, every person, and every moment we encounter is temporary. Realizing this can make us more mindful, kinder, and grateful. It urges us to cherish the present, enjoy our relationships, and live with fewer regrets. When we remember that everything is temporary, we learn to savor life in all its beauty, to appreciate the ups and downs, knowing that nothing lasts forever. We often associate risk with danger, with the possibility of failure. But what if I told you that the biggest risk is not taking any risks at all? Let me share Sarah's story with you. Sarah had always played it safe. She chose the secure career path, avoided putting herself out there, and shied away from any situation that took her outside her comfort zone. On the surface, it seemed like Sarah had it all figured out. But beneath the surface, Sarah felt a nagging sense of unfulfillment. She had this dream of starting her own business, a passion project she'd been putting off for years, always finding excuses and reasons why it wasn't the right time. One day, Sarah stumbled upon a quote that changed her perspective. "The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek." Those words resonated with her deeply. She realized that her fear of failure, her need for security, was actually keeping her from truly living. So Sarah decided to take a leap of faith. She started small, working on her business on the side while still at her day job. It wasn't easy. There were sacrifices, late nights, and moments of self-doubt. But Sarah discovered a strength and resilience she never knew she possessed. She found joy in the challenge, in the process of creating something from scratch. Sarah's journey shows that taking risks, though intimidating, is essential for growth. By not risking anything, we often risk everything: our happiness, growth, and fulfillment. Facing our fears and stepping into the unknown can lead to incredible opportunities and personal transformations. Avoiding risk might feel safe, but it often leaves us stagnant, while taking chances brings out our best potential. In a world filled with distractions, it's easy to get caught up in the past, worrying about the future, and completely missing the present moment. But the present moment is all we truly have. It's where life unfolds, where connections are made, where memories are created. John, a busy executive, learned this lesson the hard way. He was always on the go, phone glued to his ear, constantly planning his next move. He rarely slowed down, always focused on achieving the next goal. One day, John received news that shook him to his core. His father, a man he loved dearly but hadn't spent nearly enough time with, had passed away suddenly. In that moment of grief, John was overcome with regret. Regret for all the missed opportunities to connect with his father, for all the times he had chosen work over spending precious moments with his family. John's experience teaches us that life is unpredictable, and time with loved ones is not guaranteed. Being truly present means putting away distractions, silencing our phones, and engaging fully in the moment. It means listening attentively to the people we care about, being present in conversations, and creating memories that will last a lifetime. When we're present, we create meaningful connections and memories that last. True presence is one of the greatest gifts we can offer to others and to ourselves. We've all been there, stuck in our heads, overanalyzing every decision, every interaction, every possible outcome. But overthinking rarely leads to clarity. In fact, it often does the opposite. It creates unnecessary stress, fuels self-doubt, and keeps us from taking action. Alex was someone who struggled with overthinking. He would spend days, sometimes weeks, agonizing over decisions, big or small. He'd create endless scenarios in his head, imagining all the ways things could go wrong. This constant overthinking left Alex feeling paralyzed. He would procrastinate on projects, avoid taking risks, and miss out on opportunities, all because he was trapped in his own head. One day, Alex was talking to a mentor, sharing his frustrations about feeling stuck. His mentor listened patiently and then offered some simple yet profound advice. Action breeds clarity. Those 3 words were a game changer for Alex. He realized that he couldn't think his way out of overthinking. He had to take action, even if it was imperfect, even if he didn't have all the answers. Alex started small, setting deadlines for himself, making decisions more quickly, and focusing on making progress rather than striving for perfection. Alex's story highlights that overthinking can paralyze us, preventing us from making progress. Moving forward requires action, not perfection. Overthinking only adds unnecessary stress and doubt. By taking action, we not only gain clarity, but also the confidence that comes from trying, learning, and growing along the way. So there you have it, 6 life-changing lessons that often come to us later than we'd like. But the good news is, it's never too late to learn, to grow, and to make positive changes in our lives. If these stories inspired you, don't forget to share with someone who needs to hear this, and know you're part of that rare 1% who actually follow through. Let's continue the conversation in the comments. Which lesson resonated with you the most? Thank you for watching.